What's up, guys? I'm recording this on my Chromebook because we're not in my room. My room is plagued by this terrible, whiny electrical sound from the ceiling that the guys keep failing to fix whenever they come. So we left and went to this computer lab. And you know what? 4 or 5 years ago, a lot of these tables were set up by me or my students in a little help desk thing. So I want to read another poem today. I've been trying to do 2 every day, but today I'll just do 1 because it would be annoying if this is a long video. And this poem is another sonnet, but it's not Shakespeare. It's from a guy named John Keats, one of the names you'll see if you take a literature class or something in college. And Keats was a guy who was not super well educated. He was not in all the finest rich schools. He just went to the normal, lower middle class places in England. And he didn't learn Latin or Greek. Unlike a lot of the rich kids, they would study Latin or Greek, and they would read Homer. They would read Odyssey and the Iliad in the original Greek, and so they would have that experience. But Keats didn't get that. He'd read translations, and he didn't really like them. He thought they were kind of boring. But then one day, he read a translation, a new one. Actually, it wasn't new, but it was new to him. He read a translation from a guy named Chapman, George Chapman, and he just loved it. He was like, this is the new standard. I'm never going to read any other Odyssey or Iliad, and this is the thing that has finally showed me how good it is. I finally understand what people are talking about when they say that these are great stories. So I wrote a poem called On First Looking into Chapman's Homer, and I'm going to read it now because it happens to be one that I have memorized. Much have I traveled in the realms of gold, and many goodly states and kingdoms seen. Round many western island have I been, which bards in fealty to Apollo hold. Oft of one wide expanse had I been told, that deep-browed Homer ruled as his demesne. Yet did I never breathe its pure serene, till I heard Chapman speak out loud and bold. Then felt I like some watcher of the skies, when a new planet swims into his ken, or like stout Cortez, who with eagle eyes stared at the Pacific, and all his men looked on one another with wild surmise, silent upon a peak in Darien. That's it. It's a sonnet. It's pretty short, 14 lines. Different rhyme scheme than the Shakespeare one we saw, but we'll get into that some other time. The reason I thought of it is because it's like this thing that we were talking about a few days ago. You bring up your idea and then you compare it, not just once, okay? You don't say my love is like a rose and then you're done. You compare it to multiple things and give us different angles on it. So he said, I've read Homer before. I've read the Odyssey and the Iliad, but now I didn't really breathe in that air until Chapman. And then the second half of the poem is just comparisons. He says, I felt like some watcher of the skies, an astronomer, when a new planet swims into his ken. Ken, K-E-N, is an old English word for knowledge and understanding. So like a new planet comes into view. Or like stout Cortez, the conquistador, the guy who sailed west from Spain and found South America. Or did he find Mexico? I don't remember. And then you go, not only that, it's not like he found a new continent, but what if he went to the other end and saw the new ocean? Like, okay, you've done all that and there's more, okay? So those things are like reading Chapman's Homer. It's like that corny poster that you see in a library. I was thinking of this because we see this weird tiger poster in this room. But if you imagine a school library and it has that poster of like a kid opening a book and like wizards and ships are coming out or whatever, like you're entering a new world. That's what Keats is talking about when he says, I read these books, whatever, but this one was like, transporting on the Reading Rainbow. So, I don't know, came to my mind. Today we're going to have a new assignment, but it's not really new. It's just saying, hey, after going through all 3 steps to get your poem going, you're going to have one that's called First Draft, where you turn it in for real for an assessment grade, not just little baby assignments. It's not due today, but we're going to start working on it. And I've seen a lot of your docs and commented, and I'll see some more as we go. Thanks.